One of the major news stories has been the report that supposedly the U.S. government is giving up destabilization efforts inside of Syria. Now, this comes after a Washington Post expose that with people who claim to be from the Trump administration admitted that this was happening. And then Donald Trump went out into the media and pretty much confirmed it. It's not 100% that it's happened yet, but it looks very much like it's exactly going to happen. Now, some officials claim that Trump had already made the decision to end the CIA operations inside of Syria about a month ago from an Oval Office meeting with CIA Director Mike Pompeo and National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster. Now, this took place at a July 7 meeting, before the July 7 meeting between Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Now, at its height, the Pentagon was spending about $1 billion a year funding the terrorists inside of Syria in order to destabilize the government. Yet, despite the massive amount of money, effort, training, and weapons that have gone into it, the government has held absolutely firm during the entire assault. Now, the reason why this is failing is because essentially the terrorists inside of Syria don't have the support of the people. And this has come from think tanks that were very much in favor of getting rid of Bashar al-Assad. The fact is, they're just foreign Daesh terrorists that have been brought into the country to carry out U.S. imperialist interests. Whether it's Al-Qaeda in Syria, the al-Nusra Front, or ISIS, or even, frankly, the Rojava. The fact is, the people of Syria are not on the sides of these U.S. puppet forces, and that's why they've continued to fail. Now, a big part of that also needs to be given to Iran and Russia, who have been major allies of Syria. It's particularly with regards to the Russian military, particularly with regards to bombings that have been carried out against pro-U.S. positions. So given all of those things combined, we do see why the U.S. side of this conflict has been absolutely failing. Now, a lot of the media is trying to portray this as though it's something against Trump, like Trump is capitulating to Russia inside of Syria. Well, that's really not the case. Frankly, the U.S. has already lost. The U.S.-backed forces have suffered tremendous defeats. They're not making any grounds, and they're just being defeated in battle after battle. The only true U.S. proxy that's gaining any kind of victories is the Rojava forces. Now, all of this was just to try to destabilize and get rid of the Bashar al-Assad government because it is one that is independent from U.S. foreign policy, meaning that it is not dedicated to carrying out the interests of U.S. capital. And that's why they've had to go. And that's why they've spent, 7 years inside of a war to try to maintain, basically what's left of Syria. And there's been widespread damage to the country. It's been absolutely devastated. There's really not much that's actually left. I mean, construction always takes much longer than deconstruction does. There's been tens of thousands of people. It's even they're saying like over 100,000 people have gone back to Syria now that the ISIS, the Daesh forces have been defeated. There's been a monumental human suffering that's happened as a result of this. Not only the chemical attacks that have been carried out by the U.S.-backed forces inside the country have caused damage, but even that is actually very minimal compared to the actual war itself and the people who have suffered because of this. And when you actually look at the chemical attacks which have been carried out by the opposition inside the country, is actually pretty small when compared to the actual overall situation, where hundreds of thousands of people have been displaced from their homes, tens of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands have been killed. And this is something that if this does, get 100% verified that the U.S. is going to end CIA operations inside of Syria, this is a tremendous victory. This will be the first, real solid military victory for anti-imperialism in a really long time, and it is definitely something that should be celebrated. National independence should be the priority of every Marxist, even if you don't like the person that's in charge. You don't have to like Bashar al-Assad. You don't even have to like Syria. You just have to respect their right to self-determination and to oppose imperialism. Unfortunately, that is something that is lacking very much so in the Marxist community, particularly in the first world. Those who are very happy to cheer on the Rojava forces who are carrying out U.S. imperialist interests. But for now, if this does at least happen, it's a great sign that at least a victory for anti-imperialism is right on the horizon. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.